Hello guys, this is Lewis of LZ Console Design, part 2 of installing the 129-0201, which is basically the AC above and double din below. AC staying in its normal location. I guess I want to explain the Parrot ISO harness for our cars. It's basically plug and play. Everything's basically set up already. There are 3 wires dangling. The orange wire is for the reverse camera, which we will be hooking up. The black is ground, and the green is for the parking brake, basically to bypass the videos and so forth, so you can use your radio as you drive. Of course, I don't recommend people doing that, so don't get me in trouble. But like, if your passengers want to like look at navigation, or once the navigation is done and they want to change it to something, this is good for your passengers. So basically, I just loop them together like so. Also, since I have wire going back to my glove box behind my seat, I take the ACC wire, which is the red one on here, and I take the bullets apart. I've made a double bullet unit, male on one side, 2 females on the other side. So what I do is I plug this in here, and I plug it back into the harness, make sure it's covered. Make sure it's covered. And then my AC and my auxiliary that's going in the back is a yellow wire, and then I can hook that to there. Make sure it's all covered. And I guess my cover is falling back, so I'll have to reclamp that on like that. So if you guys want to tape it all up, you can tape it up, but that way there I can take this apart if I want to, and then I have no problems. So what I've done is I've looped the green and black. Please don't do this. This is going to be my backup camera, which I ran my backup camera. So we're going to plug that in. Right now I'm running my AC because it's hot. I'll shut it down before I plug anything in. You guys can always go to undo your negative on your battery for safety. So this is my backup wire. Like I said, I'm using 2 wires in one. So basically that's going to snap into the bullet. I put a female, it comes with a female. Well, it comes raw, so I added a female because off the ISO is a male. So these are the bullets. You can get them at any automotive store. So they're in. I like to hear them snap. So these are my extras now. My auxiliary going to the back area to work some equipment that I have, which are my backup sensors, and then the backup camera, which is 2-in-1s. I got that plugged in. So basically, that is going to get plugged into your harness. The harness is pretty long, as you can see. So make sure it's nice and tight. If you want to, you can run a zip tie around the perimeter, keep it locked in together. So that's it here. Let me get the AC out of the way. Okay, so those are the wires. This is the antenna wire. I got them all zip tied together. So I want to basically kind of feed this back a little ways. Kind of rearrange your wires if you have to. Make it, the cleaner it is, the easier it is to go in. There's a little space right here I see. So I'm going to kind of like bend this and feed it out of my way. Basically I'm trying to teach it where I want it to go, so that when I push everything back, it's already like pre-bent in the areas that I want. So I kind of bend it the way I want it. I'm gonna go over here. I kind of like move everything either left or right, depending what I want. So now I am going to start plugging in things, and hopefully it goes smooth. Just kind of feeding everything, so everything kind of like is nice and smooth and goes in without too much complication. So there, I'm just kind of setting it here. I'm going to be putting a unit together like off to the side, so I kind of want to be able to see. I ran a small mini, which is I'm going to plug into the back of the unit, and basically if I want to hook it up to the computer to do some upgrades, I can, instead of pulling out the whole unit. So I did that, and then I hid the USB in on the other side, so that's basically just backup. And then my RCAs are there. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this down to drive. Put your brakes on. Put it down to drive. Okay. Okay, the unit itself weighs exactly 5 pounds, 4 pounds, 15.3 ounces. Don't quote me on that. Okay. But I did weigh it, because I weighed it for shipping. So the console with the unit. So here's the unit. You'll notice that the ashtray door is a little different. So this is the unit here. The ashtray door actually has my sample colors on it. This is the one that I started with here. Some people said it really didn't match too good. So the one that's right here under my finger, I'll try to rock it back and forth. You can always pause it to see it. Here, that's the color that I decided to go with. It matches the doors pretty good. I went with the door color because the doors don't get as much sunlight as the main console. Here's an ultra dark one I did for those who have like who will have like the SLs with the dark finish. I haven't done a chestnut one yet. So if you guys do have the chestnut, I'll have to figure that one out on that aspect. The opening here is an exact opening, which is 3 and 15/16 by 7. The parrot itself is actually a 1/4 by 1/8 smaller. So if I do start selling the parrot with my consoles, I will downsize the opening so the edges come exactly to the parrot. But right now what I did is I just made it flush, and as you can see, there is a little bit of a gap. There's a little bit of a gap right in here, a little bit of a gap here. So probably, not probably, I have a cover that I'm going to put over this one. It's to blend it in more. If I do start selling the kits with or without the radio, I'll be making a trim piece that's the size of the parrot, because I'm pretty sure that's a standard size in the industry, and it will be tipped the same color as the console. So if for some reason the edges get scratched, or your radio just doesn't fit properly and you need that trim piece, at least the trim piece will be the same color as the console. Or you'll be able to, if you want to, flip it over, have your guy paint it black, or put vinyl on it or something like that, and then that will go, and then you can have it all black, which basically would be the same width as the, like I said, I did this one flush because I'm trying to figure out space in the back if I do them flush. So if this is like this, and you have the trim piece here, as you can see, it'll be the same going all the way down. You know, you have that same blackness all the way down. Otherwise, it'll come with the matching color on that. Hey, it fits. It's not easy doing everything one-handed. Let me tell you. So that's it. So the door I did in different colors so I can match them up. I have the door that goes with this unit. The ashtray unit itself, I was thinking of two ways of doing it. The one way would be to, you tell me if you have 3 holes, 5 holes, 4 holes, or 6 holes, and I would cut them out for you. Then I decided that I'm using a vinyl cover instead of paint, because the paint, I'm afraid, would scratch a lot. Then I'll put a clear coat on it. So I might just give it to you as a solid unit. And if it comes solid, you'll be able to see the notchings, the cutouts. And then on the back, once you're done, put some tape over it to make it firm. What I'm talking about, what are you talking about, Lewis? Since we got 2 minutes. Once the cuttings are done, of course all the cuttings are done lasered, and I put the chips back in, the pieces that came out, I put them back in. The reason why is because if you press on here, it's firm. It won't, like, your finger won't go through the vinyl. That's my concept. So once you cut out what you have to cut out, just put a little tape on the back side. I wouldn't recommend blue tape. I would probably use clear duct tape. And that way there, it just kind of keeps everything in position. So that way there, it's still firm. If you do press on them, they're firm. I use an X-Acto knife to cut these out. The sharper the blade, the better. Don't think your X-Acto knife is a samurai sword and you can just go whee and cut it out, alright? You want to make sure you cut from the front to the back, because you go from the back to the front, it's actually pulling on it. And then you want to, like, you either do a saw motion, or if you try to slide it, especially if it's a dull blade, it's going to make little burls around the edges. Then once it's done, you can use a little 400, 600 sandpaper. Always go down on it to get it smooth. So if you want me to say, yeah, I have 3 switches. I want 2 on the left and then the 1 all the way on the right. I can do that, and that will leave you the 3 in the blank. Or I want 2 and 2. Or if you have 5, I want 3 and 2, and then leaving 1 blank. So I'm trying different options to help people out, instead of making laser cutting different ones with these, because laser cutting is not as cheap as you guys think. So okay, that's it. I'll be right back.